Welcome into the Punt and Pass podcast. I'm your host, Drew Butler, joined alongside my co-host, Aaron Murray. Be sure to follow us on social media at Punt and Pass on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Drew Butler. Aaron is at Aaron Murray 11. And head on over to puntandpass.com, your number one destination for all things college football. Aaron, I was off to an 8-2 start against the spread on our Punt, Pass, and Pick picks, and I went 0-5 this weekend. Full disclosure, 0-5. That hurts my feelings. I did win my lock. Cincinnati, thank you very much. -3.5 against Indiana. You went 2-3. Respectable. We're both now 8-7 against the spread on the season. That's still over 500. We might have lost some juice, but you're 0-3 on your lock of the year, lock of the season. So we got to get back in the fold of things. But true road game this morning. True road game. I am in Boston, Massachusetts. You are about to hit the road and go speak to a touchdown club, quarterback club for Tennessee. That's just what we do for Punt and Pass Nation. How are you, man?
Dude, what a weekend I had. I mean, it was miserable.
Tell me. I want to hear it. I want to hear everything.
I'll make it real quick. So anyways, I had the San Diego State at Utah game, which ended up being a great game, 3 overtimes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So supposed to leave at 8 o'clock on Thursday. Flight gets delayed 3 hours. Don't take off till 11.
Why?
Around 1:30
What was the reason for
morning.
the delay? Why? Just
No,
mechanical?
plane coming in, I guess traffic. Yeah. So first off, we're already starting on the wrong note. Next day, Friday didn't have much. We had meetings afternoon, so I bring my golf clubs. So I go play around.
As you should.
Go play around in the morning. I'm tired, but I sucked it up, played great. Really good morning.
Birdies, no doubles.
A couple birdies. Yeah, 2 birdies. Played well, actually, really well. I think I shot like a 81. So
very good. I love that. I love that.
Before. All right. Anyways, I go to put my clubs in the trunk. Put the clubs in the trunk. And then go, oh, crap, I must have put the keys in the trunk. Can't get the trunk back open.
Rental car.
But lock the keys in the back of the truck.
Okay.
Call AAA. AAA comes. They break into the car. Like, okay, we're just going to get into the car, hit the button to pop the trunk.
Yeah.
They did that, got in the car. These new cars, as soon as the alarm goes off, the entire car shuts down.
What?
So you can't get in. Everything locks down. So you can't get in the trunk. It's like, nothing I can do, bro. Sorry. Call Davis. It's like, hey, I got to get a tow or something. Sat in the car for 3 hours waiting for a tow truck. Tow truck finally picks me up. I'm just sitting in the car baking for 3 hours. Tow truck picks me up. Takes me an hour and a half to get to the rental car place. Get a new rental car. Then I have to drive an hour and a half back to my hotel. So this is all like 7 hours of dealing with this crap. And still, my golf clubs are still stuck in the back of the truck. I have to go the next day to go get the clubs the next morning.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was just a whirlwind a day. And then that night, like, I'm getting my True Foods. I'm in bed at 8 o'clock. I'm like, dude, I just got to go to sleep. Sleep this off. Been a rough day. An earthquake hits.
Oh, my God. I forgot. I was seeing that on social media. I did not even think about you were there.
I'm laying in my bed watching my show on my iPad.
Legit earthquake. Like moving.
And I was staying in Manhattan Beach, so like 10 miles away from me is where it hit. And my whole room is shaking. I'm like, oh my God.
How long? I mean, what is that situation like? Please fill us in. Set the scene.
7-10 seconds. And I mean, it's crazy. It's
Are
like
things moving off the shelves?
In the room is moving. It feels like the whole building's shifting. Really
oh, shit.
Kooky crap. I call my brother-in-law Byron because Byron lives in LA.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened? And he said, yeah, we've experienced a few of those. He said that hit pretty close though. And I guess there's another smaller one that hit, but I was asleep when that one hit, like at 11 o'clock at night. But yeah, it was what a just crazy day. Crazy day.
It's not all, sunshine and rainbows on the road. And,
No.
Hey, Aaron Murray putting the work in out on the West Coast.
And then a red eye back.
So you did take the red eye? Because I was texting you after the game. You must have been
back.
exhausted. You must have been absolutely exhausted.
And plus, that True Food did not sit well, so I was in bed all day yesterday.
Did you at least get upgraded, or were you in coach middle seat, coach?
No, I was in comfort.
Okay.
Exit row.
Okay.
So I had lots of leg room.
Yeah.
But still, that's not good sleep.
Crowded flight? Were people bothering you?
It was packed. Packed flight.
I wish I could just come give you a hug right now.
With a mask on, you wake up and there's
Oh,
dude,
the worst.
Oh,
The worst on
oh.
those flights.
I'm like, thank God I'm driving to my game this week. I'm like, I just don't want to be in a plane for
Oh
long.
my goodness. Well, Aaron Murray, happy Monday morning. We are taping this. It's currently 7:40 a.m. on Monday morning. But yeah, man, I mean, we're doing it. And hey, for the love of the game, and that's your
For the
job.
love of the game.
For the love of the game. That's right. Aaron Murray in the fold, punt and pass. Follow him. Send him some love. Send him some flowers at Aaron Murray 11.
I need to pick me up.
You need some cookies.
Some,
I know.
I need crackers and some matzo ball soup.
Matzo ball soup and crackers.
Matzo ball soup.
I love you, Aaron Murray. I'll tell you that. Yeah, you went 2-3. Not too bad. You lost your lock. We're both 8-7 on the season. That's that. All right, let's talk to these games. I know you got to get going. You got to hit the road, head to the Tennessee Quarterback Club. Georgia takes care of business against South Carolina, 40-13. Alabama squeaks out a win over Florida in the Swamp, 31-29. Clemson, oh my goodness, beats Georgia Tech 14-8. Are you serious? Auburn loses 28-20. Shows some fight against Penn State. Can't pull it out. Can't cover either. That hurts my feelings. And the one team I want to talk about a little bit is Ole Miss. Are they for real? Watch out. They beat Tulane 61-21. Heads up, Alabama, because that is a freight train coming right down the tracks, heading to the Crimson Tide. All right, let's start with Georgia, though. 40-13. I was there. We don't have to touch on this too much, but they take care of business as a number 2 team in the country should. They beat South Carolina 40-13. South Carolina does not have the talent. Shane Beamer obviously trying to build something. I was at the game. I was sitting with the Alumni Association. JT takes the Georgia offense up and down the field like it's basketball on a football field. And then in the third possession of the game, an interception. Everybody's like, what happened? Oh, my God, what was that? And then we realized it was Stetson Bennett in the game. I was shocked. I was appalled. I could not believe why Stetson Bennett was in the game after JT had taken the offense up and down the field twice. Any reason, Aaron, you're a former quarterback, any reason why that should have happened? I have no idea, but I'd love your thoughts. Anything. Please tell me, please.
No, it made no sense. I watched the coach's copy that night before I jumped on the plane, and I'm like, why is he in? I know you texted me earlier, so I was really intrigued. Like, what
You're like,
when did this happen? And it's not like JT. I mean, I can understand if maybe JT was banged up or had to go to the bathroom.
Like, was he stretching? I have no idea.
Did you see an emergency Lamar Jackson run to the locker room?
I
have
no idea.
Something. I mean, if he's healthy, it's not like you're bringing in a quarterback that does something different. It's not like you're bringing in maybe Brock because Brock's more of a runner. Like, okay, let's get a third down situation. Let's get a running quarterback in here. They do the same damn thing. They sit in the pocket. They throw the football. So, yes, there's no reason at all Stetson Bennett should have been in that game if JT was healthy.
Zero.
So, listen, they just wanted to give South Carolina a quick feel-good moment because they knew that it was going to be absolutely a dominant performance, which it was. I mean, listen, if Georgia's offense can play like that.
Like the first 2 series. Like the first 2 series. Yes,
yeah,
correct.
Well, the whole game. I mean, whenever JT was in there, that offense was flowing. Okay. Really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the pass game was great. Receivers again wide open. I mean, South Carolina's terrible. I mean, just
terrible. They don't have.
They got stuck in man and cover 4 a couple times and some post and go routes, and those DBs just their heads were spinning. They had no idea what they were doing. But that defense, and I know we're saying every single week, Georgia's defense is unbelievable. If Georgia's offense can play like they did versus South Carolina, they're the best team in the country.
I agree with that.
About it. There's no one close. I mean, Alabama's close, obviously. But Georgia right now, based on what we saw from Alabama versus Florida this weekend and what we saw from Georgia versus South Carolina this week, I know Florida's a way much better football team than South Carolina. But Georgia's defense has shown us they are the best defense in college football. The best defense in college football.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no question. They win 40-13 outside of the Stetson Bennett interception. We all love Stetson. I mean, hell, he had a historical performance a week ago. It was just shocking that he would be put in the game under those circumstances. Primetime conference game, third series. You're like, what? But that defense is truly special. And Shane Beamer, after the game, I saw Seth Emerson, our buddy, was tweeting yesterday because Shane Beamer showed his true emotions. He was frustrated with himself, frustrated with his team, frustrated with the media because the media kept asking him questions. And he goes, I mean, what do you want me to do, guys? That's what he said. He was like, Did you see that defensive line? You can't just scheme up a run game against those guys. If they get tired, they sub in new 5 stars. If you get past the D line, it's 3 5-star linebackers. If you try to throw the ball, it's 4 and 5-star DBs. He was like, what do you want us to do? The frustration is real, and this Georgia defense is unbelievable. I think the depth that they have, the talent that they have, the coaching that they have is one that you can ride legitimately to a national championship. But how you get to a national championship is not by doing what happened on the third series of the game offensively. Shocking to me. Absolutely shocking. You said it best. It ain't like Stetson's doing something different. It ain't like he's going to go run in there and just run the ball. It was wild. And I'm sure he was juiced up. The atmosphere was amazing in Sanford Stadium. Yeah, he had some zip on that ball, threw it over the receiver's head. It was an interception. But that cannot happen. The reason you have those games against South Carolina, Aaron, and you could talk to this best, is to get reps. Man, JT, get him in there. He didn't play last week. First 2 series, awesome. Yep. Get up 35-0. Get up 35-0 in the first half. Put all the backups in. You just wanted them
to cover the spread. So
well, they didn't cover the spread. I went 0-5. That's obvious. But I want to see these guys.
Let's. Even the first game, offense didn't do anything at all in the first game. Didn't score a touchdown.
Correct.
So you're talking about did not score at all the first game. He doesn't play the second game. This offense needs to get going in. We throw in the fact that this team is still getting healthy on the offensive side. A lot of those star receivers, Burn and some of the other ones, they didn't play a lot of camp. They weren't in there to get the repetition needed to get ready for the season. They're playing catch up on offense right now. They are playing catch up, which to me is a good thing because they can. Their defense is affording them the ability to ease into this season, slowly get going, and then really hit their stride hopefully the next week or two. And they may have hit their stride this past weekend for South Carolina. I think a lot of confidence was built within the coaching staff when it comes to all right, Kirby, we're going to let these things roll a little bit. We are going to turn this to a little bit more down the field passes. We're not going to just run. I think Kirby's getting comfortable with the idea. Obviously, Monken wants to do it. And I think JT showed the ability to push the ball vertically down the field and his receivers step up and make some plays. So can they do that against an elite defense? TBD, we'll see. But, you look at their schedule, what elite defense do they face the rest of the year? They don't. There's not one defense on their schedule that they can't do what they did this past weekend.
100%. Jordan Davis is an NFL player today on the Georgia defensive line. He is an impressive human being. And I think that secondary is just going to continue to get better. I am really impressed. I think kind of the unsung hero right now is not Nolan Smith, but number 17, Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean.
Nakobe's a freaking beat.
He's like a little mini Roquan out there. I think he's really impressive. Gets guys in the right spot. Very fast. Commands the defense.
I've been really impressed with Drew.
Who's that?
I'm drawing like number 88. I'm pulling it up. Defense alignment. He's a beast. Young kid. I'm pulling up my Phil Steele right now. I'm just always numbers. I always forget names.
That's all good. Tell me, who's 88? I mean, I know Adam Anderson's 19.
Jalen Carter.
Yes.
Dude's a beast in there, too. I mean, I know a lot of talk is about Jordan Davis, but
Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Devontae Wyatt. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, Aaron. You did not have that kind of D-line when you were in school.
No, I didn't have that kind of defense. Are you kidding me?
And tell me this.
If we had that defense.
Is that not the most true thing ever? You would have won 2 national championships. This may be the best
defense I've ever seen. I mean, go back
to... Oh, is he going there? You think so?
Go back to, I think
the secondary leaves a little bit to be desired, but they're going to get healthier.
We played LSU in 2011 when they had the Honey Badger. And that defense was
I kicked him that ball, and he housed it before halftime. We won't talk about that, but let's talk about the defense.
No, their defense was unreal. But Alabama's defense that year was loaded. I remember Bobo giving me crap. It's like, man, even if we would have made the Natty, you would have crapped the bed facing that defense. I was like, oh, thanks for the confidence.
Softening the blow. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this defense is better than those two defenses.
Dude, I agree.
There's not a weak spot on this. They fly, man. You turn on the tape, this defense is tenacious. They're fast. They don't miss tackles. I mean, go to Florida. If Florida could just tackle in the open field, they may have won that football game. Yeah. They could not tackle for crap in the open field.
Yeah.
They would throw, Alabama is obviously known for those swing routes, those bubble screens to the outside, over and over again, one-on-one, broken tackle. Alabama able to convert third down situations, get the first down. We're like, okay, They're going to stop them. It's going to be fourth down. They're going to be forced to kick a field goal. Nope. 2 missed tackles. All of a sudden turns into a touchdown for Alabama. That was the issue. Florida could not tackle in the open field, and that was the difference in that game. If they could, Florida honestly may have snuck that out.
Yeah.
Because I was impressed with Emory, man. Emory had some cojones going out there and playing that football game. He just kept battling, running, making throws. Really impressed with him. And I think that was a confidence builder for Florida, honestly, as we slowly shift away from this Georgia defense. But, yes, best defense I've ever seen is this Georgia defense.
Wow. I do love that.
Since the time I was at Georgia playing SEC defenses and all the film and everything I've seen, these guys take the cake, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard to disagree with you at this point. Jordan Davis is an NFL player today on that defense. This is hilarious because I was talking to my dad. My dad went up to practice. He was checking things out for the radio network on Thursday. They said Jordan Davis against UAB was clocked at 20.3 miles per hour running when he chased down that running back on the sideline. 20.3 miles per hour. The guy weighs 340 pounds. Somebody asked my dad.
Well, first, he's not 6'6", by the way. I love they put his height at 6'6".
Yeah,
He's like 6'3".
Yeah, I mean, but granted, he's a monster. He's
a monster.
Forget the 3 inches of height. He is a monster. Somebody asked my dad, what would you compare that to? Who would you compare that to? 6'3", 6'5", 6'6", who cares? 340 pounds, moving 20-plus miles per hour. My dad goes, I don't know, a grizzly bear? I mean, seriously, like it's insane. It's not human. That's unbelievable.
No,
this defense is for real. They got to keep it up.
Speaking of the height, though, do you think they add those 3 inches just to intimidate teams? Like when they go look at the scouting report?
Probably to intimidate teams, yeah.
340, because I mean we interviewed him at SEC Media Day, so he's in the room with us in Alabama there, and I'm like, okay, he's a gigantic human being, but he's not 6'6".
No,
he's
I mean
6'3".
that. Yeah, I agree.
I'm saying, do you think they juice him up to make it a little bit more intimidating?
My boy Leland Barrow in Sports Information Department, Claude Felton, of course they do, dude. They called
3
me.
3 inches is a lot of juicing, though. I wish they would have juiced me up to like 6'4".
I was about to say they called you 6'2". You're like 5'11", dude. Come on now.
Yeah.
No, it's unbelievable. And tell me this, just real quick, because we got to talk about these other games. I know you got to hit the road. Any reason, you never know about Georgia's schedule or any team's schedule before the season. Now it's looking like, hey, these next 2 weeks after Vanderbilt, which is essentially an exhibition game, home versus Arkansas. Thankfully, that game's in Athens. At Auburn. That's the number 16 team in the nation and the number 23 team. Any reason to be a little bit worried, or is this defense just plug and play? Let's go get a win.
I'm not worried because of the defense, because defenses usually tend to show up. I mean, they're great. They're good football teams. I really been impressed with Arkansas this year. That's a great defense. They can run the football really well. And you know how much I like teams that can do that, especially on the road.
Yeah.
And Auburn impressed me this weekend. To be able to go into the whiteout and make that a competitive football game, yes, you would have loved to see them win it and definitely some screw-ups along the way. But they made the game competitive, and they fought. And this is an extremely well-coached team. Harsin has 2 great coordinators, which is what you need. So neither game, and then Kentucky right after. I mean, this next Vanderbilt's Vanderbilt. It's going to be a complete
cakewalk. My gosh, should we go play?
You and
I.
4 weeks. The next 4 games are not. I mean, they play ranked teams.
That's the season.
4 weeks.
Yeah, that's the season right there.
Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, then
bye
Florida.
Week,
so it's going to be grind time for Georgia right now. This is the meat of their season.
So let's talk about Florida. They lose to Alabama 31-29. Really impressive effort by the Gators. Alabama, I was shocked watching it because the run game that to be Alabama is not there. The offensive line not winning line of scrimmage. They don't have a bruiser, or they can't rotate at running back like they have in the past. Puts a lot of pressure on Bryce Young. I was listening to Michael Lombardi, Aaron, and he is on VSiN, Vegas Sports Information Network, and he was just saying, hey, you know what, 14.5, Alabama, you don't make money fading Alabama, but at the Swamp, tough environment. He goes, give me the points because this is, you just don't know. And he proved to be right. Now, I want this. Tell me this.
Well, it's 21-3 after the first quarter.
Exactly.
So I'm like, all right, this is going to get ugly fast. Emory threw a pick.
Yes.
But Florida's run game, man.
It was impressive. I got to give him credit.
Offense.
I know.
This is Dan's offense. And I still am a believer that Richardson's the better quarterback.
I would agree. And pregame, Jamie Erdahl on CBS and like Brad Nessler was talking about it. Well, we talked to Coach Mullen before the game, and barring an emergency, Anthony Richardson's not going to play. Barring an emergency, Emory Jones is going to be the quarterback. I go 21-3 against Alabama. You got an emergency. Put his ass at quarterback.
Yeah, but Emery just kept fighting, man. I mean, the stat line was pretty good for Emery: 18, 28, 195, 77 yards rushing, a touchdown. I mean, we're so used to Florida not being. I mean, for the past 5 years, Florida has not been able to run the football. I mean, that's
Yeah.
been really the Achilles heel of this football team. Now all of a sudden you can. You got a mobile quarterback, two mobile quarterbacks. I think Emery gained some confidence. I think his teammates gained some confidence with him. I just still don't know what you do when Richardson is healthy, 100% healthy. I do believe he's the better option. So they're going to continue. This battle is not anywhere near done. So this to me is a team that is going to be very different today compared to when they play Georgia in about a month,
Of course.
which is a little bit scary.
You know,
Because if they can run the ball like that, I still love Georgia's defense, but it shortens up the game. It's like playing a triple option team.
Yeah.
It shortens the
Yeah.
game. It's less possessions for your offense, for Georgia's offense. I mean, look what Alabama did. I mean, they're a 2-point conversion away from tying that football game, for goodness sake.
I know. You know, and
I know playing at the Swamp is tough. Bryce played really well for his first really true road experience. I thought the kid, nothing faces him at all, which is a good thing. But I agree. I mean, they got beat up a little bit at the offensive line and just really couldn't run the football. But also with Alabama's offense, those swings and those bubble screens, that's essentially a run play anyways.
Yeah,
When they flare it out to a running
point.
back
Yep.
or a receiver, that's all part of the RPO game. If you load the box, okay, fine, we'll throw it out there. Our receivers are our better athletes anyways. And if we get 4 or 5 yards a pop, that's all we want. All it is a running play. That's it. And the goal is to get 4 or 5 yards every single time.
Win
So
first down.
That's kind of
third
not really
manageable.
baked into the stats.
You're totally right. I did not even think about that. Thank you for smartening me and us as football fans. But when you look at the stat line, you go, "Oh my God, Alabama's leading rusher only had 78 yards, Brian Robinson Jr." Yeah, that's trouble. And then you look at Florida's stats. I mean, Emory Jones, 19 rushes for 77 yards and a touchdown. That's the winning recipe right there from a quarterback position. He did throw the ball relatively well, 18 to 28, 195 yards. Didn't have a touchdown, but he did have a pick. That's it right there. And I'll give Dan Mullen credit, and hand up, I'll give him credit. He knew the recipe to win against Alabama. They were down 21-3. They kept fighting. I know you have to leave, so tell me this, okay? A lot is being said right now about the courageousness of Florida. Dan Mullen, wow, they're on the brink. They took him to the wire last year in the SEC championship game. Granted, they had a lot more offensive talent. Hey, he fought back, and they almost beat Alabama. Wow, Florida's on track. They might be able to toughen up and give it to Georgia this year. And then you only hear about Kirby Smart. He can't beat Alabama. He can't beat Alabama. He can't beat Alabama. Last 2 times he's played them, they've led the game for 119 minutes. They lose both games. So what is the difference there between the media perception between Kirby and Dan Mullen when it comes to Florida? Is it because Dan is an offensive-minded coach? He schemes up some stuff. The game is close. Kirby, former Saban assistant, kind of Jedi versus the who? Tell me, please. I know you have to get going. Are you understanding what I'm asking, though? The media
Somewhat.
perception is a bit skewed. The media perception is a bit
but
skewed.
The issue is, the games have been close when Georgia plays Alabama. It's not
Of
like
course.
they're getting blown out.
Of
They
course.
should have won the national championship versus those guys. They should have won an SEC championship against those guys. So,
Correct.
Listen, everyone has to break through the Nick Saban issue of beating him in the big games, and both are knocking close. Obviously, I just think it's bigger because Georgia hasn't won recently. That's
Correct.
the issue.
That's exactly correct.
Florida had their run, 10, 12 years ago when Tebow was there, and they've won national championships in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Georgia hasn't. I think to me that's the bigger issue. Until Georgia just wins a natty, it's always going to be you can't get over the hump and you can't get over the Saban hump. Where Florida's done it, and it doesn't matter if Dan's the coach or not. The University of Florida has won national championships in the past 20 years, so they get a little bit more of a breather from the media when it comes to whoever their head coach is, getting over the, Nick Saban kind of runs the SEC.
Yeah, it ain't rocket science, and you are 100% correct. All right.
How about this? I got a couple more minutes. You have to just kick me off.
Okay, good. I love this.
Mississippi State, did you see the punt return for Mississippi State? What are your thoughts on that crap? Should it have been blown dead?
Yes, it should have been blown dead.
The referee threw the bag, hands are over the head. I don't think a whistle was blown, but he was giving signals of the play's over. And then Memphis kid comes, picks it up, takes it 95 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean look, the referee, you're in charge. You all know how I feel about referees. You have the whistle. You are wearing the zebra stripes. If you make an outrageous motion like that referee did, the play should be dead. And if it's not dead, you can step in and say, "Hey, listen, I called it dead. The ball's set here. Let's go." That is absolutely crazy. He, of course, took no onus for the situation. That is nuts, okay? And I vehemently disagree with it. You and I have not even touched on targeting. That's for another day. But it needs
Did you
to
see the
be.
Auburn targeting?
Aaron, you have to go. I'll talk. I will talk. I will talk for.
How do you go watch that replay and tell me that may be the worst targeting call I've ever seen in my life? There was no question that he led with his shoulder.
It's seriously troubling because that is the game we know and love. Like, there needs to be nuance to the rule, and sadly there's not.
But there was no targeting.
I agree with you. So why would they call it?
At all.
I 100. We're fighting the same fight.
Worst call I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this whole targeting thing is it has gone to a level that if I'm on defense, I would just boycott football. I think all defenses in college football should boycott college football and just say, screw you guys, we're not playing.
So I was
you guys go out there and throw an air. We're not playing until this gets solved.
I didn't
because it's unfair and it's unsafe for the defenses. Because how many times
it is. You're 100% right.
Have we seen an offensive player lower their head, but never gets called an offense?
And look,
never gets called.
You tore your
ACL. It's close on a bang bang play, and boom, flags out.
You tore your ACL. I mean, look, the A to B between a possible targeting or a no targeting is going high and then going low and blowing out somebody's knees. Nobody wants that. There needs to be nuance. That's all I'm asking for is nuance. I was on an NFL broadcasting boot camp this summer, and Gene Steratore was on the panel. This is all over Zoom, right? I'm going to let you go after this story. So Jackie, I'm telling Jackie, I'm like, Gene Steratore's on the panel. She's like, who the hell's Gene Steratore? She doesn't care. I go, NFL referee. I'm going to blast him. He's on CBS or Fox or whatever. Like, hey, Gene, how does this look? And he's in L.A.
Gene's with us, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I go, I'm going to blast him. I go, I have to ask him these questions because I don't like referees. So I ask him, I go, Gene, what is the and I'm literally asking the question, kind of raise my hand, panel of 50 people, and I just go straight at referees' throats. I go, I don't really see the need for you guys in the booth. It's absolutely ridiculous. You guys don't give us an answer. You kind of go, well, you don't know. It could go this way, but could go that way. I'm not sure, but could be this. I'm gonna guess it is this, but if it's not, hey, Troy and Joe, back to you in the studio. And it's like, what? He got so defensive, Aaron. He was so mad. I got an email after the session. They were like, Drew, we want to send you a shirt. You asked the best question that got the best response because Gene Steratore got so pissed at me. I asked him the question, and I was like,
it's true, though.
It's so true. We got to figure it out.
Got to figure it out. I boycott defenses out there. If you're listening to Punt and Pass,
thank you.
We will help you guys.
Amen.
Get this solved. Boycott college football defenses.
Boycott college football defenses. All right, I'm going to let you go. You got to go hit the road. You're talking to the Tennessee quarterback club.
I'm actually going to bring this up. I'm going to start at Tennessee club. I'm going to
Please
bring up,
do.
I'm going to talk about, what the SEC looks like. Obviously, I'm going to get into, how impressed I am with what the Tennessee football team has brought in these, early on this season. And then I'll get into some of the big issues that I'm seeing in college football. And this is a major issue.
It is. It really is.
It seems to be getting worse rather than better.
Yeah.
It's getting worse every single week with some of these calls.
100%. I think Ole Miss is for real. Watch out, Alabama. Auburn loses 100%. A close one. They did not cover. Georgia Tech shows some teeth against Clemson. Wow. All right, we'll talk to you on Thursday. Pretty decent slate of action. I think you and I might be in studio Thursday. I have no idea. I'm all over the place right now. My head is spinning, but we love Punt and Pass. That's why we're doing this at 7:30 a.m. on a Monday morning.
Texas A&M, Arkansas this weekend.
Oh, I do, and Arkansas will win that game. Arkansas will win that game.
I 100% am with you on that.
100%.
We'll right now.
Yes, absolutely. All right, follow us on social media at Punt and Pass, Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Drew Butler. He is at Aaron Murray 11. Puntandpass.com. Aaron, drive safely. We love you. I hope your tummy is feeling better. We're going to have a great week, and we'll talk to everybody on Thursday at Punt and Pass, at Aaron Murray 11, at Drew Butler, puntandpass.com. We will talk to you on Thursday.